Hi, love is the highest frequency in all the universe. So what have you done for love today to bring that vibration into your life? Okay, thanks to Elon Musk, the biggest lying fraudster there ever was. But this really, I think, helps so much with this lesson, and I feel like I can finally explain this in a very easy way to understand here. How God Mama is androgynous, both male and female, okay? Now, let's address the transgender thing. If you want to switch genders, great, fantastic. Okay, now here's where the problem comes in, and this is where I have the best real-time, true-life example of where the problem lies with this stuff. My nephew will be 21 in June. He cannot go into a strip club. So if I were, he is 20 years old now. He will be 21 in June. I'm making this video in April. If I were to take him to a strip club, he cannot go in. And the reason why, because there's naked women, you cannot see that. Now, what they're saying is that it's okay for that same stuff to take place in children's schools, elementary schools, whatever. There's where the problem lies. What they're saying is that a 20-year-old man can go fight a war, but he cannot go into a strip club, but the strip clubs can be brought to the elementary schools. There is where the problem lies. That's why everyone is in an uproar. Okay? We are in the age of Aquarius, and there is a battle between two rulers. The imposter ruler, Saturn, which is a androgynous being, but it is feminine. It is ruled by the feminine because it is feminine, but it is a copycat, and it got that idea from the original ruler, the original mother, the original god, the OG, whatever you want to call her. Sirius, Gaia, whatever you want to call the true mother. And here is how the mother is masculine and feminine. Okay, so these, if you want to call them devil worshippers, that's fine. They worship Saturn, and they're doing everything they can to make Saturn the ruler of Aquarius, which it stole from Uranus back in the day when the very first murder took place of Saturn castrating Uranus and dethroning the true firstborn king. So that is why you have all these weirdo perversions, because Saturn's and Legion are like the gremlins. They cannot reproduce, they can only multiply. So whenever Saturn decided to be copycat, it took on this perversion form of the masculine and feminine. And it became all about external shit when it had everything to do with the internal. Here's where I showed you in a video. This is where it was funny, because I said this first. And then Elon Musk, and I'm not saying Elon Musk watches my shit, but who knows? Helps out a whole lot with this. So this was in early February. Here's from the Egyptian Book of the Dead. Nu represents the primeval watery mass from which all the gods were evolved, and upon which floats the bark of millions of years containing the sun. Nut, the female principle of Nu. And I pointed this out in this video here, how it doesn't even mention this being the mass. It doesn't say anything about gender. It just says, this is the watery mass. Nu is the watery mass from where all the gods came from. And it contains the sun. And then there's Nut with a T, the feminine principle. Okay, so here, and then right after this, here you go. This, you can't see this, but I got this little thing in the way. It's like a tool for using this screencast thing. So then Elon Musk, just like a week or so after, here you go. Gaia, Mother Earth. You see her pregnant? The sun is inside her. She is pregnant. So another thing here, let me get these. We'll get to this in just a second, because I forgot to get these pulled up. So whenever you see Sam Smith? We'll do David Bowie. You legs. I don't know if that'll work or not. Probably like this, but yes, okay, I'll look right past it. When you see this, or this, you see what they are doing is they are copying fertility, because that's why there always will be a Kim Kardashian or some big butt, big thighed goddess everyone worships, because it represents the pregnant mother. You see the sun is, you see the big old wiener? Remember this? I made this Happy Mother's Day video. You see, listen.
Hey, you know why Molson is my favorite beer?
Why?
Because it has the word sun inside of it.
Couple perverts, right? Here's the Earth's core. You see the sun inside the Earth's core? You're trying to tell me that sure looks a hell of a lot like a sun. They just, oh, that's just the core. Yeah, then why do you depict it as such, as a sun? You see this? Your Columbia TriStar. I just learned this. This is the coolest story ever. This also, okay, so here's the horse, which is always known as the twins, okay? Which, hello? Mother and son, okay? This woman here, what you see in front of all the Columbia TriStar movies, or the horse, they're one and the same. This is why you see them together. They're twins. This is the coolest shit. I just learned this week. This woman here, this is a real woman. It's a painting that's based off a real photograph of the exact same situation. The woman's name is Jenny Joseph. Jenny as in generator, as in power. Okay? Now she is a representation of Lucifer, which is Venus, the light bearer, right? The morning star, the Statue of Liberty, which has always been an androgynous being. You see how she holds the light? Okay, so this is a true story. It's really wild. This woman had, the photographer that took this picture, she worked at a newspaper. And this woman here, Jenny Joseph, was just a co-worker. So the photographer said, hey, Jenny, come over to my apartment, would you, and let me photograph you? So that's what they converted this photographer's. She moved the dining room table, cleaned up the living room and made it into a studio. And this woman, Jenny Joseph, who never modeled before and never modeled after, did this picture, did this stance. They gave her a lantern, or a lamp, excuse me, that resembled a torch, a lantern, and she held it up. And if I'm not mistaken, the woman's name was Kathy Anderson, who took the picture. And so then the painting that this is here was based off that picture, and everything is exactly the same except for some of the colors. Now here's where the story gets interesting. Besides the fact that this woman never modeled before or after this ever again. So you're seeing a amateur model first time, anytime you see she's actually a poet. And there's videos of her on YouTube reading her poetry. Reading her poems, reading her poetry. One of them's called Warning. But it turns out, and this is the Kathy Anderson, she said that her favorite shot in this shoot was the only one of her sitting down. And why did she sit down? Because she did not know this until halfway through the shoot. This woman reveals that, guess what? She's pregnant. So she wanted to sit down. So now you know why they do this stuff, why Saturn is depicted with boobs and all this perversion, transgender of changing your sex and doing all this stuff. Because it's a mockery, it's a perversion of the original twins, heaven and earth. Pretty neat, huh? CheapAFvideos.com. Please support my comedy show, Lockdown Living Room Comedy Show. Thank you very much. Yeah, because I went right over it. You see, in a lot of the tarot decks, see this? She's pregnant. And so that's what this is all about, right? They worship Lucifer, Venus, the imposter Venus. This is all, there's a, just like, you see, I've shown this so many times. You see, because there's two of them. There's the twins, right? The mother and son. But this is to represent that there's two, as in there's a fake one. So make sure you listen to your heart to know which one you should be listening to know which God to follow is a better way of putting it. And so that's what you have, like what we're expecting the Hoover Dam and everything to blow, right? Because of the birth. She's pregnant. The birth of the New World Order, right? Everybody says there's one that births good seed and there's one that births bad seed. There's one that births good and there's one that births evil. And for those clowns out there, it's not in any ancient text, it is not. That there's no such thing as good or evil. That they're both one and the same. That's a big lie. We're in it. You tell me which movie isn't coming true right now, and you tell me what movie that's in. Is that what happened in Star Wars? Pulled off Darth Vader's mask, and it's like, surprise, son, we're all the same. It's totally cool. No, that's not what happened. That's a big bunch of phony shit. And anyone who says that, you just call them a pedo. Because if you're not, they're saying the good and evil are one and the same. So if you rape kids, you're trying to say that people who do not are the same, because good and evil, they're all the same. You're good and you're evil. Really? I've never raped a kid. I will never do that. And there are people who do. So damn you all to hell for trying to group me into the same nonsense. This only people who say that shit are like weird Masons on YouTube. No one says that shit. Like, so what movie, man, is that from? What movie? Show me 3, 4, 5 examples, because I can go right off my head and go off 20 of where good and evil, hell, Princess Bride, Legend. I mean, what do you want me to do? I go with the clowns. Clowns. So there you go. Perversion, just like Venus on Elon Musk. They show him. If I do that, probably not. Or if I just do Elon Musk Halloween costume. Last year, wasn't it? See, that's Venus. And you see how, I don't know if I can zoom in real good. Might as well just take this video almost as far as it'll go. See? You see the upside down cross? See, like the 2 fingers. One of us is a phony. Right here. This pretending to be mom. Clown. This clown said in like April 2020 the pandemic would be over and everybody would be opened up by the end of like April 2020. Loser! Loser! That guy's a clown too. I think he was Epstein visitor. Not this guy, the guy I just made fun of. Jim Carrey. Phonies, clowns, all of them. See, you follow your heart so you don't fall for their bullshit and you go, oh, you get wooed by their magic, like Trump and his little Mason 6-finger 666 sign. Okay, I got my puppy. My puppy is after me about something. I gotta go see what he wants. Okay, puppy.